I'm the realest one that's reppin', oh my god, if I die, I'm a legend when they lay me.
Yo, DragooX is back and welcome to another video here on my channel, guys. And today I want to show you my new Arcanist build for the Gold Road chapter. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I would say we go directly into the stats of this build. And here you guys can see now the completely unbuffed stats, and now I'm gonna show a picture of the fully buffed stats. Looks decent, I would say. I'm using here 58 points into health, 6 into stamina. I'm a Khajiit, we also play a bit on crit. The critical damage is unbuffed 18%, but when we buff up with the minor force here, and now I need to go to a dummy. Because the other crit buff we only get when we are in combat and we generate the crooks. Then we have 40% crit damage here in this build. Is decent, I would say. I'm Vampire Stage 3, I'm using the Ortsugar buff food, the smoked beer haunch food here, and I'm using the Lava Mundus here, not the Shadow. You guys can see, the pen is really good. We are using in this build Barlock, but first we start on the front bar, and here I'm going with the new set, the new trial set, that I also use on my Sorc. It works perfectly, it's a great burst set, and with crit together, it's probably the strongest burst set that exists right now. It's 5 seconds cooldown only. It gives us here 2 times critical damage, some weapon and spell damage when you have the perfected version, and the proc is unbuffed or normal buffed with the major brutality only. It's 10k already, and later when I show you the skills, I show you how we increase that damage by that proc set a lot on Arcanist. This is something. The Arcanist, overall, if you ask me if I like this class, it's super tanky. The passives, the offensive passives of this class are strong, but normally the class is missing some burst, and with this set we add this burst. The class have some really good passives, high pen, good crit passives and everything, but we are missing burst, and with this set we get this burst. The main hand I'm using here non-hound, and the offhand and precise. 1 shock damage, 1 physical damage enchantment. Okay, on back bar I'm going with Wretched Vitality, 4 sustain, with a damage shield enchantment on it. On Arcanist, stacking shields is strong as hell. Our heavy attack with ice stuff, we get a shield, then we get the enchantment shield here, and we can use our Arcanist shield. This is a fat unbreakable shield, and it stacks good. That's why I'm using here the shield damage enchantment, and Wretched gives us crazy sustain. Arcanist have also some good passive for sustain already, but Science, you guys saw, we have not that much high resources in this build. We are not playing with a high maximum stam or magicka pool, so we need a lot of regen. But the sustain, even if it looks super low with the max resources, the sustain is great, because fully buffed the recovery is crazy. And that's why I tell you, even with the low health, low magicka and stam pool, with so much regen, the sustain is still perfect. And the monster set that I'm using is Barlock. Yeah, for sure, for the damage and some extra pen. I have a heavy head here in reinforced with a tri-stat enchantment. And yeah, guys, you guys saw we have already unbuffed 9.3k pen. With Barlock active, this goes even a lot higher. And we still have the major breach and sometimes also the minor breach. Or it procs really often because we have a lot of physical damage on this class. So we have also the major minor breach. So the pen is super high on this build, and that's what I'm saying. Arcanists have some good passives. We get some high pen with it. And with Barlock together, we have really good pen. We need it for our burst damage. Then I'm going here with a heavy chest of trainee in also reinforced for more maximum health. The shoulder here in heavy and reinforced with a tri-stat enchantment of Barlock. And then we're coming to a light belt of Wretched Vitality and well-fitted. Null Arca hands, well-fitted medium. Legs also. And I'm using here one piece. I'm using a one piece in impen for a bit crit resistance extra. It's some extra resistance. You can also use one more well-fitted if you want. I'm using here one impen. Okay, then I go here with the new mythic, the Saint and the Seducer. Crazy mythic for damage. When the crit buff comes, we get major force, minor brutal enemy, 30% more critical damage. Major berserk is nice. Everything is nice. extra damage, great mythic for damage, and I'm using here all the jewelry and infused with a weapon spell damage and magica recovery enchantment. Yeah, and this is the gear that I'm using. Now we take a quick look onto the champion points. In the blue ones I'm going here with Master at Arms, Biting Aura, Ironclad and Resilience for some critical resistance. In the red CPs I'm going with Celerity, Bastion, Pain's Refuge and Boundless Vitality. Okay, now we take a look onto the skills, and here's something that you can change if you want. I didn't try it, so I can't tell you if it's good, but it's just an idea and it should work decent, and I definitely want to try it a bit in the next weeks as well. But first I show you the skills that I use the most of the time now. On the front bar I'm going with the Inspired Scholarship, the buff, the rune, the stun, the new Mage Guild skill. We time this skill together with our ultimate most of the time, but you guys can see I'm using that skill also down there, the minor resolve buff. I get it with this skill, so I also use it sometimes when I just attack. I start my combo, for example, or I start my attacks when I go on my front bar when I'm using that skill. It's some extra burst, but the main burst comes together with the ultimate when we time it. We have here also the script on that we get another 2k direct damage on our next ability, so when we time it with the Dawnbreaker have 2k more damage. Then I'm using here the Tentacle, finisher, AoE damage, and it applies the debuff that we deal 5% more damage on our enemies. And our spammable together with the Tentacle, this depends a bit on the situation. When you're fighting someone that dodge rolls a lot or cloaks a lot, use the Tentacle more. When it's someone that's not dodging or cloaking, then I'm spamming more the Shattering Knife. I have here the, I think it's better when I show it here again. I have here the multi-target script on. Then I'm going with the Warrior's Opportunity. That gives us 8% more damage to our physical damage abilities. We have only physical that benefits from it. Yeah, so our Dawnbreaker, our Tentacle and the skill by itself deals 8% more damage, and also our proc, our Null Archer proc set, 8% more damage. And then I have here the crit buff on, so I get the crit chance with this ability as well. So it's a mix between these both skills that you spam on the enemy. These are our spammer builds to deal pressure, and then when you have your ultimate ready, you use the Mage Guild skill here, and then you time it with the Dawnbreaker together. On the back bar, I'm going with the Bubble Shield ultimate, our resistance buff here, the shield, and Warring Runement. This is a skill that you can maybe replace, but I'm coming to this later. The Elemental skill for Breach and the status effects, and Race Against Time for our crit chance, and speed buff and snare remove. Okay, now the idea that I had is, you could say you're replacing the Warring Runement with a new scribing skill. But I would only do that when you also would replace the Bubble Shield ultimate. I'm personally not using it so often. That's why I had the idea right now to do that. But I need to do that. I didn't. This is just a theory now, like something that you could do. I didn't try it by myself, but I had the idea to do that. Put this ultimate out and you put this one on. You're not using it. It's just to equip. For the passive here, for the extra 10% stronger shields and cheaper shields, so you stay with that passive. Right now we get it because we have the Warring Runement equipped, but when we say we replace that skill, you should use that ultimate for the stronger shield. And then we could say we go into scribing here, and the idea was that I put Weird Soul on, put healing on it. Then here in the second slot, the Class Mastery script, so we get also crooks like with our Arcanist burst heal, and then we would put Vitality on it. This is the idea that I have because Major Vitality would also make our shields another 12% stronger and our healing. So in my opinion, this is a bit stronger than the Arcanist burst heal. We can also get the crooks with it, like with the Arcanist burst heal. And the heal overall is stronger than the Arcanist burst here. So this is a good idea when you say you don't want to use the Bubble ultimate, then you could use that one. Yeah, I definitely want to try it in the next days a bit, the next weeks a bit. This is the idea that I had. Maybe when you play this already, you can write in the comments how good it is for the other players. But this is the idea that I had and I didn't at the time. I'm already working right now on the DK as well. I told you guys I want to make the classes one by one ready now for the next, for this chapter here right now for Gold Road. Okay guys, these are the skills. This is the build overall. If you have questions to it, feel free to ask me in the comments below. We see us in the next video. Have a nice day and bye bye.